Albert Einstein, general relativity; Michael Faraday, the law of induction; Sigmund Freud, psychodynamic theory. All three are well-known household names in the present day, having been groundbreaking and pioneering experts in their respective fields. But only the first two have gained attention in the positive light. A neurologist by training, Sigmund Freud became a leading psychologist in the late 1800s and early 1900s, developing his theories of psychoanalysis and psychodynamics, which advanced the theory that interactions between the conscious and unconscious mind within an individual are the root causes of human thought and behavior. After a long time of studying psychology, it is important to me that people discover the influence of Freud's work, and this time not in an unpleasant way. Despite Freud's prevalent influence in contemporary psychology, his legacy continues to be tarnished by its controversy and dissension. His legacy should be reconsidered and accepted in both academic and public view because of the widespread impact of his work. Here I will be discussing Freud's contributions to psychology concerning the development of the psychodynamic perspective, the emergence of later theories following his work, and the need to embrace his impact on human understanding as a whole. Freud's work advances a revolutionary perspective on the analysis of the human mind and its internal operations. A central tenet in Freud's work is psychodynamic theory, which has three basic components. One, it rejects the influence of genetic traits in human development, arguing that the growth of an individual stems from childhood experiences. Two, it places the unconscious mind and the interactions of the unconscious with the unconscious at the centerpiece for human behavior and thought. And three, it posits that psychotherapy and unlocking through treatment subconscious phenomena are key to understanding and solving psychological disorders and stresses. These three statements have powerful implications on the operations of the human mind and underlie a key fact in the principle of psychology, that we are more than what we know, that we are not always in conscious control of our own actions, and that there are outside forces that drive our behavior, but it just so happens that those forces come from within. So, as well as create a wholly distinct method of analysis on the mind, Freud also develops the foundations that later theorists and psychologists build upon to advance their own works that still hold direct relevance today. An example of this is Jean Piaget's theory of cognitive development, as well as contemporary theories on family dynamics. Piaget developed a generalization of development in the cognition of the infantile mind, describing it in sequential steps akin to and deriving from Freud's own theories of infantile development. Like Freud, Piaget establishes his theory in that different cognitive functions develop over time and act as requisites for future processes. Likewise, contemporary family dynamics, with their descriptions of the three styles of parenting, attempt to explain personality and character as deriving from a person's childhood experiences. Raised in an authoritarian home, a child grows up antisocial and insecure. In an authoritative home, content and independent. In a permissive home, disobedient and impulsive. These also derive from Freudian theory, where character and personality stems directly from experiences in childhood. Psychodynamics also forms the basis for modern psychotherapy. Taking from Freud's client-therapist approach, psychotherapy as it stands today uses honest and personal interaction to help identify and treat behavioral and psychological problems. With these in mind, we have to embrace how Freud has shaped our understanding today of our mind and our humanity. The way we analyze ourselves today in everyday scenarios, and the way we attribute behavior, thought, and reason stem from Freud's postulates. We are now aware of the existence of the unconscious mind, and that the majority of cognitive processes exist outside of conscious perception. We recognize the use of psychological defense mechanisms, such as repression or projection, that defend our sense of self and our mind from dealing with unacceptable thought. And we acknowledge how traumatic experiences interfere with proper mental function. So Freud's legacy, overtly dismissed and renounced from the field of psychology, remains influential throughout the working facets of the discipline. His work in psychodynamics touches upon nearly every cornerstone in the field of psychology, forms the founding basis for subsequent psychologists, and provides us even today with fascinating insight on the operations of the mind through the lens of the unconscious. Having developed theories of and principles and influenced the creation of countless others well into the modern age, it is time to embrace Freud's work and open ourselves to an entire world of knowledge and perspective.